This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, leading the league in podcasting entertainment.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. We got a special edition, the 100th episode of the Fast Break Podcast, the alumni episode. If you recognize that voice, we got Ricky Widmer and Dave Oster.
Hey guys,
the original
That's a voice that you have not heard in a while. Is Dave Oster?
I mean, I took a little time off.
A little
time?
You took a siesta, man. Did you do jail time? Like, you better fucking away. Are you on parole right now?
I mean, I don't have an officer. I may have a bracelet
He does
on.
have the beepy thing around.
There's a lot of beeping in this room. Anyways, today we got some big news. Yesterday we were on the radio, Ricky and I, and we were getting done with our sports show, and then we look at Ricky looks at his phone, taps me, and shows it, and says, David Blatt fired by the Cleveland Cavaliers. Cavs were 30-11, sitting at top of the Eastern Conference, yet they fired David Blatt. Came basically out of left field. The whole NBA shocked. The Cavs even thought the meeting was about K-Love getting traded.
I mean, when you catch the entire team off like that, it's ridiculous to think that a top-tier team like that, nah, we don't like them. We're done.
Well, and the thing that I mean also, and this has been brought up on SportsCenter, it would have made more sense if it was like, okay, blown out by the Warriors, now we're going to fire you.
Absolutely.
No.
It was 2 games after.
No, you won over shit teams, and then you fire them.
Mm-hmm. Total reactionary, though. I mean, you go up against 2 of the top powers in the West.
And you lose.
What you're looking at, I mean, ultimate goal here is winning a championship. If you can't hold a candle to those two teams...
the 2 teams you're going to face in the final.
Why even try?
Well, they got completely blown out by Golden State, and that was just disrespectful with what Steph Curry.
Disrespectful.
No, but like it was shameful. It
was
like the Warriors did. It was like the Warriors going up against like a high school team. Like it was sad basically, but it still came out of left field, being the team at top of the Eastern Conference, and people were saying LeBron said he didn't know about it, which I think is complete bullshit.
Yeah, it's good. Well, I mean, what the hell is that guy's name? Not
GM.
Not Gilbert. Gilbert's the owner, but I think his name's Griffin. Whoever the fucking GM is, I don't give a shit in Cleveland. You're the Cleveland GM. Your city sucks. I'm sorry, Cleveland fans, but that's how I feel.
You guys ever see the Cleveland?
Chicagoan.
You guys ever see the Cleveland
yes,
tourist videos?
The greatest sport.
Absolutely.
No, I'm talking about the greatest moments in Cleveland sports history, aka the shot over Elo. But the thing that when Griffin comes out and says, you know what, LeBron does not run this organized. Guess what? He's the greatest player in the world. Yeah, he does.
Look, he may not run it, but I'm saying he's had conversations
to where
with
he
the
runs
GM
it.
about the team. And maybe the direction isn't quite right with David Blatt there.
And maybe LeBron's like coming out like, hey, I don't like this guy, but he's probably like, so I've heard rumors.
I could see LeBron being
we
that
don't
guy.
like this guy. Yeah,
He's a side shit talker.
Yeah, he's not
Side shit talker.
He's pulling Dan Gilbert over. He's like, hey, how's the kids? Everything. So I've heard that people hate David Blatt.
Man, that Kyrie guy really hates him.
Oh my God, yeah.
Kevin Love. I mean, if you guys want him to stay, I mean, you traded Wiggins for him. You might want to fire David Blatt. Hit, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
And I mean, David Blatt kind of gets canned. But you kept bringing up that Stephen A. Smith said that David Blatt wasn't supposed to be coaching LeBron.
Well,
he was supposed to be coaching Kyrie.
Yeah,
and
when he
company.
was hired,
Absolutely.
he was hired before LeBron came in, before K-Love. It was the team that he had was Kyrie just got signed to a deal. You're coming in. It's a rebuilding process. Then they get LeBron. It's like, oh shit, we got LeBron. Let's fucking go for K-Love. Wiggins, who was on the team, who Blatt was supposed to mold into an NBA great, he's gone.
Yep.
So now Blatt's expectation was from, oh, you know what? If I make the playoffs, that'll be good. It went from that to, no, you got to win it all.
Yeah, you
as
went
a
from
first-year
0
head
to
coach.
60 real quick.
Well, the one thing with Blatt is I don't even remember him being hired, and that's the thing is, you think of LeBron, you think you're going to know what's going on with the team, but it's because it happened before LeBron. I don't even remember him being hired, so it was kind of out of left field. So it wasn't, LeBron's choice. But now apparently Tyronn Lue is LeBron's choice as they extended him for 3 years and now he is the head coach. Do you think Tyronn Lue really changes this team up, or you think they're still going to be, the East's best team, but nothing to compete with the West?
I'm going to say not really, only because they've been running Lue's offense, for the past few games now, maybe this whole season?
This entire season and part of last season,
they've
actually,
been
David Blatt
Lue's
folded
offense
under player pressure and changed out his system because the players were complaining. They weren't getting the exact results they wanted because of maybe personnel didn't match it correctly. So he folded on that quickly, which definitely didn't help his impact on the players. They're like, how can we respect this guy? if at the first sign of like an issue, he's like, maybe what you guys want should be the best. Like, seriously, you're the head coach.
Brendan Hayward, former Cavs player last year, said that they got rid of Blatt's offense early on in the season and adopted Lue's. But he also said that they liked Blatt when they were winning, but they couldn't stand him, and he was blamed consistently when they lost. So, I mean, David Blatt walked into a real,
it's a lose-lose
situation. I mean, outside if you win the championship, which you're not going to do because the West is stacked.
You know what I find funny, though? Whenever LeBron's teams lose, LeBron doesn't get blamed. When he was in Miami, when they lost the finals,
Chris Bosh's fault.
It was Chris Bosh's or Eric Spoelstra. He's not a good enough coach. Why did we get him? And then look at what Spoelstra did. He became a head coach.
And pre-Cleveland years, it was the team's never good enough.
Well, Mike Brown can win 60 games any given year.
Yeah, Mike Brown.
I'm surprised he didn't get hired back for this role, right?
Well, he did. After Byron Scott didn't work, they brought him back for a second
round 3, Byron?
Round 3, Mike Brown.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's Mike Brown's fault. It's not LeBron's fault.
No, I mean, David Blatt, 83-40 in a year and a half, goes down as one of the winningest coaches.
The winningest
coach in Cleveland. I mean, are you kidding me? And if you expect Tyronn Lue, no offense, Tyronn Lue, he could be a good coach. He's younger. He's played in the league. He played in the league for what, 4 years?
Longer than that, I think.
Way longer than that.
Yeah, he was a journey. He was a journeyman. I think he played for 4 teams.
Let's put it this way: 2-time NBA champion.
Yeah, he rode on Froby and Shaq.
Yeah. Well, I don't even remember. I don't even remember that. I just remember the AI step over. That was the guy who got stepped over.
Exactly.
With his cornrows.
The guy's played around ego. Yeah. The guy's played around top talent. He knows what to deal with there. But I'm sorry, from a personnel and a tactician wise kind of thing, David Blatt is the guy they were all talking about. Even Pop was like, I really like this guy. He's very smart. And it just seemed like he was really skittish around how to treat LeBron, how to use Kyrie, LeBron, and K-Love.
Well, let's be honest. If you've never coached in the NBA before, and you're coming over from Europe, and you're like, okay, cool, I can do this team, and then the world's best player comes on. How do you go to where it's like, okay, I'm the alpha dog? No, LeBron's like, no, fuck you, I'm the alpha dog.
He needed to step up early.
How many rings do I have? Where with you think back MJ and Phil. Well, Phil wasn't taking none of MJ's shit if MJ wanted to throw it.
And that's the thing. Think about
Steve Kerr knows about taking MJ's shit. Got him fucking hand to the face.
The thing with Blatt, just kind of make a comparison, at least from the Chicago standpoint, he did kind of seem like a Mark Trestman. He's proven himself outside of this, outside of the league, and then comes in and really can't handle it because he's in a big market with, a guy with Jay Cutler who's unfixable, and he was supposed to be the guy to fix Jay Cutler. So it's really like David Blatt was thrown into Cleveland where they've lost consistently. He's thrown in with LeBron James, who's coming back to his hometown, and this is like the return. It's just, you feel for the guy because he won consistently. Yeah. But you also don't know, you can't say they won because of David Blatt. Right. You can say that they won because of LeBron James. And really, it's not like a Phil Jackson where, Phil Jackson will be regarded as one of the greatest coaches of all time. It wouldn't be like David Blatt won this championship in Cleveland.
Right.
It was
LeBron won it. Yeah. And, who was that guy on the sidelines? Yeah. But that was the thing, even LeBron in his years in Miami. I mean, you talked about a little bit with Spoels. Early on, it was Pat Riley. Could you imagine if Pat Riley had been LeBron's head coach from the get-go? I guarantee his ego, not even close.
No way.
I mean, it's just that impact. And you talked about Phil Jackson. Same thing with MJ and Kobe. He doesn't take shit. No. He's like, look, and this is your place. This is for the betterment of the team, and you need to understand that. And I think LeBron right now in his career doesn't have that mentality. So when he came back to Cleveland and he saw David Blatt, he's like, I'm not even this guy's here, but I'm going to do my thing, and we're going to win my way.
Well, the thing was I threw out the heat. I just want to say this. I threw out LeBron's heat. Notice how early on Spoelstra, kind of like I'm the babysitter while you guys go win a championship, they lose to the Dallas Mavericks. Then when Spoelstra started getting a backbone, and you would see the TNTs in the huddle, and he's actually mapping out plays and is actually speaking assertively and saying, hey, this is what we're going to do. They won a championship.
So not to say he let them fail on their own to make them value him. Is that where? Okay.
Well, he kind of asserted himself and said, hey, I'm the head coach. you should kind of listen to me. I know what I'm talking about, kind of a thing.
The early Heat stuff, there was always that controversy, like who's taking the last shot, like Bosh, Wade, LeBron. With Pat Riley, like when you said that before, that wouldn't happen. He would say, like, you're taking this last shot.
Tim Hardaway, the ball is yours.
Exactly.
Yeah.
With David Blatt, it just seems like, all right, you guys, who's ever open, shoot. And then, if Kyrie's heading the ball, he's not going to pass it away. If LeBron's holding the ball, he's not going to pass it away. It's just, these guys have too big of an ego. You got to give them direction because they are, top NBA players, but it doesn't mean that they're can go out there and they know exactly what to look for.
Because let's be honest, on the 90s Bulls, every time Steve Kerr took a corner three, Phil Jackson said, hey, MJ, we're taking the corner three. We're going with the hot hand.
Yeah.
Tony Kukoc with his game-winning threes.
Meanwhile, now you've got LeBron, who he knows in the back of his head, if I don't take the last shot, I'm going to be criticized everywhere for, I don't have the clutch. I can't do this. I need to pass it off and like make somebody else a scapegoat.
It's always like the comparison to Jordan. Like, Jordan, the thing we remember him is the shot against Utah.
There was no push.
The Utah shot. There's no LeBron push off.
Hey, MJ, did you push? What was called? Yeah, what did they call?
Absolutely.
LeBron doesn't have that career-defining moment where he comes in and steps up and takes over because if he tries to do that and misses, then he's not as good as MJ. But now he's really.
Think of the last title he won. We're not talking about his shot. We're talking about Ray Allen's shot. That extended the series and won it.
He did play out of his freaking mind.
Yeah, but
like
we're
LeBron
talking about
was
Ray
like
Allen's shot.
Super Saiyan.
Well, we're still not saying like LeBron's like a terrible player. We keep saying LeBron's the best player in the NBA. We're just saying that he doesn't have this career-defining moment where he kind of wussed out of Cleveland and then went to a place where he knew he could win and then jump back to win a title for his hometown.
Here's one point I want to bring out about the date, bringing it back to David Blatt.
Yeah.
The one thing I thought of, and Dave, I know before we were doing our pre-show prep, I mentioned to you guys, the analogy I used was with the NFL. When a new coach comes in the NFL, they kind of set up their own staff. The head coach has a say of who's my offensive coordinator, who's my defensive coordinator. And you said it's different in the NBA. But the one thing, if I was David Blatt, maybe he didn't say anything because he's like, you know what, I'm new here. I don't want to ruffle any feathers. However, if the guy who's the assistant head coach is the highest paid assistant head coach and was number 2 in my job hunt, I'd be like, why is he here?
Yeah, he was a safety net.
Like, let's be honest. Yeah. I'm already 1 foot in, 1 foot out without wanting to be. And I would be upset. And if that's the case, like, I'd walk away from that situation because it's not going to end well for me. Well, I don't know what you guys think on that.
Another NFL thing with like Chris Carter, it was kind of like the fallout guy. Like Tyronn Lue was the fallout guy because they knew if Blatt messed up, they could just push him out the door and then bring a new guy in.
That's the interesting thing about it. It's like Blatt didn't have that relationship with the players that Tyronn Lue had. Tyronn Lue seemed like he
played in the league and
he is totally the players' coach. He was in there with them. He played with multiple people on that team actually. And then every time on the bench, I think Rick, you were mentioning, they're looking around, they're seeing what he's saying.
It was LeBron. Every time Stephen A. Smith said it, where every time LeBron looked at the bench, he was looking at what Tyronn Lue was calling. Not David Blatt, Tyronn Lue, the assistant head coach.
Well, there was also videos where like LeBron was just talking to him on the bench. Like he wasn't going over to the Blatt, he was going to Lue. So it looked like Lue was this guy that they looked for. Yeah. But why the change now? Because you said yesterday that they should have made this last year.
Oh, they should. If you were going to make a change, make it after the finals loss. Don't make it mid-season right now because the only thing I think of this is you're running the same offense. You're doing everything the same. So if I'm looking at what the pattern is, you're going to go to the NBA Finals and lose to the Spurs or Warriors. The script has not changed.
Yeah. I mean, at all. I totally agree with you. The whole thing, the only thing I've heard out of Tyronn Lue is how he's going to, dig deeper on the bench and get more players involved. Instead of running that 8-man lineup, which stretches play time a little higher for these guys. Mid-season, you don't really need that. In today's NBA, coaches are smarter.
Well, I mean, everybody's
cutting time down. I think the average time is about 34 minutes now, and these are for like all stars. Yeah. Like
unless you're on a Tom Thibodeau team, but
I said Jimmy Butler running like 44, right?
Because Jimmy Butler
never sat down. Yeah.
Butler is the highest in the league. I think he's at 39 or 38.
I'm guessing,
And without
talking
go
minutes,
figure.
You're talking minutes per game.
Exactly. Yeah. So Tyronn Lue wants to stretch out, which I feel is interesting because it's something Blatt wanted to do initially, except he had to keep pulling the ripcord on LeBron. LeBron's on the bench covered in towels and shit. and then all of a sudden you see them 4-point run the other way, 6-point run the other. LeBron, we need you back in there. It was like I love to play with guys like Varejao and Delly out there, but like some early last season they weren't providing the offense, obviously, and this year it's just like the same thing over and over. They can't go deep, or David Blatt didn't have confidence to go deep. He just kept pulling on LeBron to save him.
Butler.
I fact-checked you, by the way.
I fact-checked him, too.
Jimmy Butler, 38.1, leading the league.
Second is 37.5. So
he's got Caldwell Pope, and then Harden at 37.4.
Exactly. So, I mean, you got guys like Steph Curry's like 34, 33?
Yeah, well, yeah, they got Clay to provide. So
exactly. I mean, you have all these superstars. Shit, even like KD. KD doesn't play more than 35 minutes.
No. They got Westbrook.
He 35.5.
Oh, God.
Way to go.
I'm so close.
And I agreed with him, too. I was like, yeah, that sounds right.
I mean, that's the thing. So it's like, you want to have these deeper rosters. I mean, obviously, number one thing is emulate what's winning. What's winning right now is 2 deep benches. You have Golden State and you have the Spurs. Both have excellent push off their bench. They can score. They can really flip a game around. I mean, there's no reason to not try to do that.
The thing with it is, who's the Cavs' sixth man? There's no because you look at the Bulls championship teams. You got Tony and you got Kerr. Then you look at the Warriors right now. You got Iguodala, who was the Finals MVP. There's just no one to rely on this Cleveland bench. I mean, there's guys to fill in when Mozgov and Thompson are out. You can put them in, but it doesn't mean like they're one. They're not the same level players, or they are the same level players. You're not really upgrading or downgrading.
Or, I mean, I was going to say, I know this is a little different because the Bulls, when Derrick Rose was injured, you don't have just a 6-man. You have the entire bench mob.
Yeah, that's true.
So you don't have a 6-man. You don't even have a bench where it's like, we can go to any guy on this bench, and they're going to give us points. They need Nate Robinson. That's who they need.
Backup point guard of the year, 3 years running. Whoever was the Bulls' backup. Yeah. I mean, that's what it was. And
DJ Augustine comes in. Now he's an all-star, high paid player. Aaron Brooks now. We're just going to revive
Nate Robinson
backup point guard.
And, who was the last one who went to the Spurs?
Bellinelli.
But there's also
one
fall-down shot.
He was a shooting guard.
True. You missed one guy, Kirk Heinrich.
He's still on the team, though. He's still on the team.
But I mean, he was the original.
Yeah, we're talking about guys who aren't. Brooks and Heinrich are still on the Bulls. Yeah.
But moving up, we said that the script's already written for these Cavs.
Exactly.
Is there any way they rewrite this script? What moves do they need to make to rewrite this script?
You need to get rid of K-Love.
I say Mozgov.
Really?
Yeah,
are you going to get enough for Mozgov?
Get at least someone to boost up that bench, because right now, I mean, I'm thinking if you said like 6 men to me, maybe like in the playoffs, the guy I fucking can't stand in Delhi, fucking hate Dellavedova.
Dirtiest player in the league?
Yeah, he is. And I mean, if he's coming off the bench, you can count him as a 6-man. JR, if he's coming off the bench, you can count him as a 6-man.
But JR's not reliable.
JR wants to play.
He can be hot or he can be...
JR to me is kind of like a Josh Smith, where I'm just going to fucking shoot threes, and if I'm on, I'm on. If I'm off, I'm off.
Basically.
That's how it's going to go.
No. You want me to go in depth on this? Because it's K-Love for a couple good reasons.
Hit me with it, big boy.
Think about this. What made K-Love great was the fact that he was a stretch player. He could start down low in the post, easily pass in the post. If he's got somebody smaller than him.
LeBron also likes to play in the post.
It's newer for him, but it is. So he's big man in the post, great passing, and if he's got someone smaller behind him, he goes over him. If not, he dishes out to the outside. Then his favorite thing is top left of the key. Like, that's his shot. Guess whose shot that also is? LeBron's. Guess what LeBron doesn't want him to be? Anywhere near the fucking lane. He wants him away from the lane.
So he could just fucking drive.
K-Love's rebounds have gone down like...
he was leading the league at 15 in Minnesota, and now I think he's around 8.
Yeah, his rebounds have plummeted because LeBron wants him nowhere near the lane. He wants him playing on the outside, being a spot-up three-point shooter. What does that do for K-Love's game? Fucking awful. He went from 8.1 free throws to 3.7 now.
I mean,
that is ridiculous. 10 points less a game. And, yeah, his three-point shooting, what he had there in Minnesota was fantastic because, he's a big who can take threes. Now he's a spot-up three-point shooter. Are you kidding me? They completely neutered his game.
Well, like with Russell Westbrook last year, we had that consistent streak of triple-doubles. Kevin Love was that guy before, where Kevin Love could not get a game where
2020s all the time.
It was like he could not have a game where it wasn't a double-double.
Exactly.
Or he was injured.
What do you go, 35 or something
Something
straight?
ridiculous like that.
It was outrageous. So they need to get rid of him to make space for a spot-up shooter, because if LeBron wants to play LeBron...
on the cap side, too.
Well, that'll help. It's the whole thing. If LeBron wants to play his game, so you got to give him space. So that means you need complementary pieces.
But you said his rebounds went down?
The rebounds went way down.
Because here's what I'm looking at right now, 2015-16 this year, rebounds per game, K-Love leading the team at 11. Last year,
I wasn't going from last year.
Season, it went from 9.7 last year to 11 this year.
Just career-wise.
I was going career, yeah.
But like over the last two, and like the year before that, 13-14, I'm looking at K-Love. He wasn't on the Cavaliers, so I can't go back. Back that far.
Real quick, I gotta throw a name out there because we're talking about moves, and I know this guy is completely gone down from what he used to be, and he's got a huge salary cap. So I have no idea if it's really going to work out there. But you got to get a guy who'd come off the bench who can score for you. I know he's completely dropped down, but the Nets are rebuilding here. Joe Johnson.
I mean, they made a push for him this offseason, too. The Cavs had definitely thought it through, and they wanted him. And you're right. It depends on where the Nets are, and if they can just... Are they going to do a straight swap? Are they going to have to attach picks to it?
Are they also trying to like screw over the Celtics and trying to get that pick worse or better and better so that it doesn't go...
If I'm Brooklyn, though, I want picks.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Because
you
gave the Celtics all your fucking picks.
The worst trade of like all time was 3 first-round picks.
Well, in just the NBA. We're not talking RG3 trade.
Oh, no, we're not talking Wayne Gretzky or like...
Wayne Gretzky to the Kings.
Yeah, or the
Kings ransom is 33rd.
Or the Vikings Cowboys trade.
Oh, my God.
For Herschel Walker.
Herschel Walker.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry, Ricky, you're a Vikings fan. I know that's kind of pulling on strings there. But I mean, Joe Johnson...
Before my time, so good. It was good. Before my time.
And hell, if this is like an NBA or NBA 2K16 franchise...
Just trade finder. Do it for me.
Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe Bryant. Put him out on a ring. Okay. LeBron and Kobe.
Well, that would be fantastic to watch.
Bring Dwight back. We're getting the band back together.
I mean, Kobe's not coming off the bench. that's
hey, Kobe Bean Bryant doesn't come off the bench.
Yeah, we're talking about egos, not being able to hand egos. I mean, that's not going to work.
Here's the last thing I want to bring out about the Tyronn Lue, Sean, then you can bring out whatever you want to do to end it. Here's the one thing, the last thing I think of is... I kind of think he may do a good job because what coaching tree did he come out of?
The Doc Rivers.
The Doc Rivers.
Who else
came out of the Doc River one? Tom Thibodeau. So to me, I see that and go, okay, you got some potential, big guy.
He does.
You come out of the Doc Rivers coaching tree, which Doc Rivers, what coaching tree did he come out of? The Coach Popovich tree.
Yeah, which kicked out Steve Kerr as of recently.
But the thing is, will Tyronn Lue become a coach, or will he just be another cog in this LeBron coaching wheel?
It's going to be hard for him to differentiate himself out of that. You're right.
Spoelstra's the only one that's kind of separated himself.
He's got to be a playoff. He's got to be a player coach.
And that only happened because Spoelstra's lasted. Like post LeBron, he's still having success. That's how he's made it.